Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of mucking around on the patrol. So already just now I've had a quick fix. This bull bar was loose and now it's sturdy as, rocking the whole car. Basically those big bolts in there that hold it on didn't have washers on them, and they were sort of going through the hole in the rail, and so they sort of either weren't tight to start with or they've started to come loose. But now that's all good, beautiful. Mounted that the other day, but obviously after I mounted that I was like, oh, that bull bar's loose, I need to fix that. So I fixed that and now it's ready for a winch to go in. But before I get too far into the patrol this afternoon, I'm gonna have a quick clean up of the shed because there's just stuff everywhere. It'd be a lot nicer if it looked something like, oh, yo, that's nice. Oh, all my sockets are even in the right spot. I can actually move around. Oh, look at all this space. Oh, and here's the rear bar that I'm slowly getting the patrol chop done on. But when it's done, it should look something like this. You see what I did there? Nah, that's probably going to take some time to do. But if you want to watch me do it, it'll be in a future video probably, because the weather is not ideal for painting. It's very wet. So, as you can see, around this tow bar area, it's quite rusty, and the pin and the hitch have been also quite rusty. So I'm like just curious. I was like, oh yeah, I'll try and get it out to see if I can. I'm not sure why I am doing it, just to see if I can. Maybe it might be easier to put the bar in when I get around to it. But I was just putting the pin in, and now when this is poking out one side, it looks like a pretty normal pin, and then that's poking out the other, which is all good. But then I started smacking it out. Like, what is going on here? Alrighty, that's looking real good now. Yeah, we managed to use the Recipro to get right in there, and it's pretty flush now, so that should be good. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna get a metal file and just clean up all these edges, and bam, all painted, filed pretty for this side. And I've actually just done a quick run to Super Cheap, got myself some more fish oil because I ran out, and it doesn't look hectic bad now, but there's just a lot of orange color around everywhere. So this stuff technically doesn't like fix that, but it just stops it from getting worse. So I've sort of made it this far, but I was just, while I'm sort of under the car, I was just gonna hit all of it and then bought heaps, because it's probably a good thing to have, because this thing will get taken on the beach and will need more fish oil inevitably. So bought myself some more, but now going to get started on the other side of the quarter chop. I will have to do it in steps again, quite like the other side. Reason being is because I need to cut up here, and as you can see, these wires are quite low. So what I'll do, I'll cut beneath it, sort of thing. Get all the wires out of the way, and then slowly work my way up. And there you have it, look at that. A quarter chopped, filed and painted as well. And then I'll, yeah, same thing, I'll sort this out another time. I managed to not cut any of the wires, that was a bit of a win. Alrighty, now it's not sitting properly, obviously. That would be level, the bottom bar would be level. But reason being is it hits on, it's a bit hard to see, but there's a bracket there, which I'll have to cut off, I'm guessing. Alrighty, so not doing the bar because it's getting late. I can't be bothered covering everything else, so just do it. I'm just gonna wait till I have the next day off. Just take it into the paddock, spray it there, done, dusted. Pulled my drawer out of the abyss corner. Forgot how well I bloody measured this all up. Like, Boom, dual battery, all the other shenanigans, plus I put like this recovery kit fits on top of, that's my compressor in the corner there. But then yeah, I can sort of set it all up so that in here I can put like a folding table and all the random jazzy stuff that's awkward to fit. Hello again. It has been a few days since the previous part of this video because I've been busy with work and uni. However, the first day I have off, it is clear and sunny. The last few days it's been raining, so I haven't been really able to do the job that I want to do in the shed, and that job is get the rear bar sorted. So while it's cloudy and sunny this morning, I'm going to quickly sand that down, take it over into the paddock, paint it up, get that done, and then the hoist bay in the shed is free at the moment as well, so I'm going to send the graham up there and weld these plates in underneath. I also have to cut off this bracket, which you'll probably see a bit better now. But yeah, the stars have really aligned for me today, which is good, so let's get it done. I'm gonna cut off, so basically this rear bar used to carry over, so it used to like come up, and then there was like brush bars that it was just like all one piece, so they got cut off there. But I'm gonna cut it nice and neat here, and then like the other holes, they had these like caps, so I just have to find some more of them to put in there, or I might just weld a bit of plate over it and cut it round sort of thing and just weld it shut. But so I'm gonna cut them off real quick, and then I'm just gonna give it a wash off because there's lots of like red dust, just like dirt still on it. So I'm gonna do that. After I do that, I'll sand any bits that I've missed, and then I'm just gonna go paint it. Like, these bars are gonna get damaged and stuff, they're always gonna be getting touched up, so there's no point trying to make it look good sort of thing. Well, not so much like, it won't, it'll look alright because it'll all be one solid color, but like there's no point trying to make the paintwork mint because it's gonna get dinged up. That's the whole point of it. So yeah, so just gonna cut off these things, quick wash, sand, and then over into the paddock, get it painted. I've just cut off those end bits, so now that they're like flush again sort of thing, and yeah, these caps do fit straight back in, so I might try and find more of these, but I'm not sure actually, because like as you can see, this is like full of dirt and stuff, so either they've lost some for a while and just didn't bother cleaning it out. But anyway, this is pretty insane. So I've just flushed out the bar like I was saying, and see all this like rocky, sandy, yellowy, dirt looking stuff, and half of it's washed away with the water as well, but all of that was inside that bottom hoop of the bar. Just brought the bar over in the over to the paddock to give her a fresh coat on the mighty grade 10 saws. They're going hard. Just picked myself a good gap in the weather. There's a nice big blue patch to come now. It was a bit cloudy a second ago, so I'm just going to give it a quick hit with some wax and grease remover. Good catch. That's looking good. I've just about used a whole can on that underside, but what I'll do now is I don't know if I'll try and finish it off. It's a bit hard because I need to hold it upright to get the last bit out, but that's looking really good. I'll wait for it to dry off a bit more, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. Very nice. While I'm waiting for my paint to dry over in the paddock, I'm going to move my car up into the hoist bay, and then once I get it up there on the hoist, I'm gonna cut off that bracket real quick. Whoever said pigs couldn't fly, hey? Alrighty, so I'm just gonna tackle this exhaust bracket. Just gonna get in there with the recipro, I reckon. Just that was easy. Alright, now that bracket was only an exhaust bracket, but as you can see, there's no exhaust there. That's because ages ago I sort of screwed mine up and just got a dump before the diff, so now it's like well and truly tucked out the way and I don't have to worry about it. That looks like an exhaust leak, but you didn't see anything. But yeah, so I don't have to worry about that exhaust bracket because my exhaust doesn't even go that far back. So now with that out the way, I'll probably just get a flappy disc and clean it up and make it flush, and then chuck some paint on her and So just flipped the bar over. Probably should have shown you, it looks pretty fucking cool, but just flipped it over. Same thing, just quickly giving it a relaxing grease remover just on the bits I haven't already, and then we'll get on to painting it. And there we have it, the bar painted. That is looking bloody beautiful. I am liking the look of that. Managed to get that down pretty nice and flat, and gave her a quick coat of underbody coating, and you can barely tell it was there, which is pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I might go get a haircut real quick, because I need to do that off the list. Hopefully the sun stays out, let that bar dry. If it starts sprinkling or raining, it shouldn't really matter, because the paint should be like tacked off enough that it won't be permeable. But yeah, it won't affect that. So yeah, might leave it out in there, out in the sun to bake while I go get a fresh cut. Probably look something like this. Ho ho! Yeah, nice, not bad at all. Alright, yeah, that's done. Paint's been drying for a few hours, so we'll go out and check on that. I reckon that's going to be mint, and then we'll, yeah, might lower the car back down, try and hold it up, make sure it looks about right, and then just make sure it fits where it fits. And then from there, we'll cut up some plates and weld them in. Well, there you have it. The bar, it's not on properly, it's just sitting there, but now it can actually sit on there properly. And it'll look a little something like that. So yeah, now that I know that's good, I'll send the pooey back up in the air and trace some plates and weld them in. I know my quarter shop's pretty ugly, as my brother just told me, but that's alright. Can't really see it anyway. I don't really mind. But yeah, it's time to cut and weld some plates. If there's one thing I thank my engineering brother for, is saying make it out of a cornflakes box first. And I didn't have a cornflakes box, but we did have a stone and wood carton. And so look at that. That is essentially the cutout that I will trace, obviously more refined, onto this sheet over here. And then should be able to weld it up. Here we have our outline. Now, I'm going to probably use a combination of different grinding discs to get this. I'll probably use a cutting disc, and I'll just like try and do like the square edges sort of thing. I'll probably just like cut straight corner to corner there. Like just get the piece off, and then maybe refine it with the cutting disc as much as I can, and then use just a grinding wheel or a flappy disc just to take off any edges or smoothen out any corners and stuff like that. But yeah, that's next. Got the patrol back on the hoist today, hoping to finish off this rear bar. Finally welding this place. Would have seen me mucking around. I just disconnected the negative terminal on the battery and unplugged the ECU, because when you're welding there's lots of electricity going in weird places, and just a precaution to take. But yeah, so I've stopped it here, and what I'm going to do while I've got it at this level, it'll be a lot easier to trace out my cornflakes box to the right shape, and then I'll mark out both of the things and cut them at the same time, and then just set it all up, get ready to weld. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to mark out that last corner and get on to cutting the zinc aluminum sheet. Alrighty, so there's my second cutout. Now, because the wires are hanging in the middle and they don't have a hole like that side does, I had to sort of cut a little access hole so that they could sit in the middle and I could trace it properly. But that's passenger side, that's the driver side cutout, so I'll get to cutting them out now. And there we have it. So our two cutouts. Now obviously with that 1mm cutting blade you can only sort of do straight lines. You can curve it a little bit, but if you try too hard you bloody break discs and send them flying at your face, which isn't ideal. So I could only sort of do the straight edges, and then like all this finer stuff I'll get with just a grinding disc or a flappy disc or something like that. But yeah, I think the easiest way to do this next bit, like to get the actual fine-tuned shape out of this chunk of metal, will probably be to sort of hold it up where it lines up, and then like get the marker out and just mark the edges, and then slowly grind the edges down into the right shape. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do that. I have found my preferred cutting method for these finer corners. So I was using a flappy disc on a grinder, but that was taking its time. But then I remember that we have this bench grinder, so I've been using this. However, it's not bolted down, so I've sort of had to be latching my finger under there and then sort of holding the grinder still and securing the plate, and then steering with my left hand sort of thing. Right hand. But so yeah, she's a wee bit dodgy, but it's doing a fucking good job. I won't lie about that. Pretty stoked. Can actually get the corners in there. Ooh, back's a bit ugly, but nothing a file can't fix up later. Might have to take it a bit slower and actually let it cut the stuff off instead of just pushing it down. Oh! Y'all aren't even ready for this. Look at this. Not bad. Not bad at all. Follows all the right lines. A little bit of overhang, make it a bit easier to weld into some bits. Fits right up. Get keen. Just taking the flappy disc to the edge of my cutout and around all of this bit where I'm gonna be welding. Interested to see how this goes. Let's give it a shot. Not bad, not bad. For someone with the experience level of welding that I have, I'm not disappointed. I'm pretty happy with that. The back's really hard to get to. I tried to get a bit on here, and I don't think I took enough paint off the top, so it's sort of still, I don't think it's not attached, but like the front's like solid enough. Like, look at that, it's not going anywhere. Nice. This side was going a lot better. Started out actually pretty nice and decent. I was pretty proud of that. And then it just got progressively worse on this side. But yeah, no, this plate's good. And so that's the little cutout I left for the wiring to all go up in there. I'll tuck the rest of it up later, but it's not necessary yet. And then I didn't cut flush enough, so she's a bit gappy on this side, but on the front there, it's fucking, I'm pretty happy with that. Side's a fair bit better. I'm just gonna lower it back down on the hoist now so I can get in on here. And then, yeah, that side will be done as well. Got the quarters all painted nice and pretty, look at that, you can barely even tell. Also treated the last bit of rust along this rear sill here. Nice big hole there, but also can barely tell. 30-year-old car, 30-metre rule, has to look good from 30 metres away, so you can never tell. But now, I'm gonna bolt my bar on. Let's go do it. Well, put the bar on, well, sat it on there, and went to sort of bolt it on, and for starters, can't even really get your hand in anywhere. There's a plate underneath, and that hole's too close to the bar to even get the bolt in there. The head of the bolt hits this bar, and then you can't even like reach in here or anything, like, so I can't even get to the holes. The holes don't line up. It also still hits on the body, even though I've cut it. Yeah. Well, that puts the rear bar on the back burner yet again, which is a shame, but it's alright. You've got to deal with the problems that arise, and that sure is one of them. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Yeah, cheers for watching. Stay tuned for more updates. No idea what I'm going to do yet. I'll have to have a good think about that. But yeah, stay tuned. Have a lovely night.